Yeah, yeah, yeah. TG and Mecah, they running the show. Talking Buckeye football, letting them know. OH, Buckeye ladies ring the victory bell. OH, now go ahead and give them hell. Smart, bold, and ready, they know their ball. Scarlet and gray pride, they've got it all. OH, Buckeye ladies ring the victory bell. OH, now go ahead and give them hell.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Ladies Show. It's me, TG, with my co-host Mecah. How you doing, Mecah?
Good. What's up, everybody?
Yes, guys. Sorry we started late. We were just going over some stuff before we hopped on, including what to talk about for the show. So what we can start off with, Mecah, is some quick transfer portal news because there has been some that's come out.
We landed Devin McCune, wide receiver from um, University of Texas San Antonio. I really think he's a good pickup. He has 1 year of eligibility remaining, and he's a very shifty, fast guy. I think he's with his skill set, it can be utilized at either inside or outside. I see him being more of an inside guy for us, but it depends on how we want to utilize him. I think he's got the skill set to play outside. He was very productive, and I think he's going to give us another veteran voice in the room, and it's a good pickup. We also got Wisconsin linebacker Christian Allegro. I really like this guy. He's the one that played through a broken arm against us and still balled out. So that shows you how tough he is. He's a great pickup. And I love his size. He's tremendously well built, and he's got that old school linebacker mentality with new school athleticism. And I just think he's a great pickup and a great fit. And of course, we got DT John Walker gonna step in and be a nose for us. He's huge and physically dominant and a havoc week against the run and pass. So I'm always excited to see us get a second chance at guys that we were high on the first go around.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't wait to see how we go from this point forward. It has been really. Now I will tell you this, that Ohio State does have more guys coming in for visits. Obviously, we do have a D tackle from Pittsburgh and Francis Bew, and the running back from Michigan State, Mecah Frazier. They're
Yep.
set to visit Ohio State.
And also we got visits from Alabama defensive end uh uh D lineman Gene Smith and Alabama linebacker Quay Rusall, I think is how you say his last name.
I believe so.
But they tend to want to play together, and I don't think we really need another outside linebacker, but it all depends on what Lion Day sees as a need and what Laurinaitis is willing to do to make a move there. So there's options constantly coming in and things are changing, and me and Vader got our fingers on the pulse trying to keep you guys up to date on everything. I got evaluations for each of the new commitments over on our Patreon. If you haven't signed up to check that out yet, go check it out. I reviewed each prospect and everything, gave my outlook on how I think they affect the roster. So
Yep, and they're not the only ones either, because we do have a defensive back transfer by the name of Kanye Thompson, who's included Ohio State into his final three schools into the transfer portal.
Yep.
So he's another one, which actually would be good. I don't care. I'd take it at this point. Um,
New guys coming in all the time, guys. So
yeah, and hopefully we can get the NIL situation kind of figured out here. Because if I'm Ohio State, I probably would like here's the funny thing, like the only schools that could realistically, like if Stanford was any good, I'd be so worried because like they got the billionaires behind them and they can go and do whatever the heck they want. I wish we had that.
well, you see what Indiana's doing, and all they got's Cuban.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, come on.
But also like kind of look at how many sports our program has too. So it's like it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I I think it's gonna get to the point where we're gonna have to make some cuts to some non-revenue sports.
Oh yeah, like it's not even just clubs. Just make them club programs. You don't have to get rid of them. Just make
Yeah,
them club programs. You can keep them around, but they have to be in the club sports because they don't make no money. Like, and the good thing is you ain't got to spend money on the club sports. So,
yep.
and not only that, but also, have you heard any rumors about Kenyatta Jackson? Because it's a 50-50 chance I hear that he'll come back. 50-50. I'm not saying he goes. I ain't saying he stays. I'm just saying that's what I'm hearing.
Last I heard, we had a good shot of keeping him, but that was the last I heard.
Okay. And not only that, guys, but Brandon Ennis, he's coming back. It's already been confirmed. He's coming
Yep.
for another year.
Yeah, that'll be a veteran voice, and I do think he he'll be up for a bigger role because I just think we haven't utilized him enough. In my opinion, I think he's talented enough to contribute more. Now, do I necessarily want him as our kick returner? No, I don't. I think we could get faster guys back there. I get that he has
I'm not
probably
gonna lie, he almost had a punt return for a touchdown if he didn't fumble the dang ball.
yeah. I get that he's got that skill set, but I want someone with
Who
with
got
a
the
little bit
speed?
more consistent electricity back there if we're gonna put someone back there.
Yep, and that's really great. Also, I hear that there's news that Matt Patricia could be coming back, and he might be getting a 3 year $9 million deal. That's what I've been seeing pop up, but I could be wrong.
I really hope that's the case. I know we're working hard to keep him, and if we keep him, I know that's gonna make a huge difference in helping keep everyone together and make things more cohesive and stuff. And I know he really enjoyed his time coaching at Ohio State. He loves teaching these young men and watching them grow and stuff. So it just all depends. Like anything right now, it's money and how everything works out logistically. So we'll see. I am hearing a lot of buzz from the All American practices and stuff about Ohio State commitments and things. Uh,
Yeah.
Sincere Johnson is being his usual monster self and showing up, but the real buzz is about a cornerback commit out of Bergen Catholic, Jordan Thomas, locking everyone down, including big receivers like Chris Henry Jr., among others. So that's always an encouraging thing. Like I said, he was the number
Mhm.
one cornerback on my personal board for a reason. Guys, the dude's a dog.
Yeah. He is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna enjoy watching this. We do got some more news, by the way. Matthew just affirmed it. I actually had seen it earlier myself. Mike McDaniel's got fired from the from the Dolphins. So how about bring him back in as OC, and you have Matty P there as the New England Super Bowl squad. LOL.
That would be interesting.
That would be pretty interesting. You got him, Boyd, and Matt Patricia. That would be the New England Patriot squad. That's kind of funny.
And Ravens finally parted ways with the other Harbaugh.
Yeah, I mean, John kept him good for years, but they could never get over the hump. So,
Yeah.
let's hope they find a good coach. But yeah, we're going to have to see how that goes. Any word on Chaz Coleman?
That's been up and down. Honestly, guys, I don't have a good read on it. Maybe Vader can chime in here because it's been up and down. I think honestly that he wants to be a Buckeye, but you know, all those things with NIL and stuff, things are just not as simple as they used to be, and that's the sad part. Everybody's
Ye-
got to get their fingers in the pie and make things complicated. So we'll
oh
see.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. By the way, I will say that so far, Cortez Hankton is kind of getting off to a start here at Ohio State. He's started off with a recruiting. He's offered a 5-star Texas commit in Easton Royal. He's a Louisiana native, funny enough,
Yeah, which
and he's set to visit Ohio State for the Texas game next year. So this year I should say, this upcoming year. So he's kind of gotten off to a pretty solid start thus far.
which
Especially with the transfer portal, what you call it. He's kind of gotten off to a solid start, but I want to see how these guys are doing on the football field.
and one thing I know that's been stressed is I think it's been stressed to him that he's gonna need to rotate more. So we might
Oh
see more.
yeah,
We're definitely gonna see more rotation. I think in the receiving core as well. So and
yeah.
rumor is we're trying to bring back guys from the portal and things. So
Hopefully they do. I actually wish they could have convinced Bryce West to come back, and hopefully, like for Tim Walton, because like I said, this year his rotations just went bad. I don't know why he wasn't rotating as much as he should, because he's been doing that actually all years. The one thing I did praise Tim Walton for was, bro, you were rotating good for the past shoot. You got here in 2022. And you've been rotating since 22, 23, 24, and you were rotating for these past 3 years. And then this year, for some reason, you stop. I'm trying to figure out why.
Vader, I think he would be a good kick returner option. Now that you bring that up, I didn't really think about that before, but yeah, I think he could be a good kick returner. He's got the speed. Now he's not Jameer Brown fast or anything, but he's definitely got the speed to light things up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And if you ask me about this as well, um, I would say this as well too, because I think for Ohio State, I do, because again, I praise Larry Johnson for his ability to rotate. I praise Larry Johnson for his rotating of the linebackers this year as well. I praise Keenan Bailey for his rotation of the tight ends, because he has been rotating the tight ends. Even though Jelani's gone, he's been rotating them. And I praise Carlos Lockwood for his rotation of the running backs. Like I know James People had left, but there's a reason he kind of fell down the depth chart. But he
I
has rotated them a lot this year. The one places we have not had rotation this year has been wide receiver. As much as we all, and look, we have the depth, we have the talent, we just did not rotate, and we never really did under Hartline. And then this year with defensive back, particularly with corners, and we should have been rotating more with corners than we were all this, because we've been rotating the corners since last year. Since for the past 3 years we've been rotating them, and in this past year we don't do it. I'm trying to figure out why. The safeties, I'm kind of not surprised we didn't rotate as much, even though we actually did rotate some with the safeties.
we
Actually,
did a
we
little,
rotated some with the
yeah,
safeties. Actually, we did rotate with the safeties. Let me
because Leroy Roku got time and McLean got time and a lot of younger guys got time. You saw Fahim Delane a little bit on special teams and things. So there's there was a little bit more rotation there than I think a lot of people were giving them credit for.
sorry, I had to cut something off. Um, if you ask me, hey, TG, do you think if we had rotated the receivers more, maybe Tate and Smith wouldn't have been injured? Pratt, yes,
Yes,
I do. Yes, no doubt they wouldn't have had to deal with that. As a matter of fact, Tyler kind of brought up, do we think that Brian Line didn't think his backups were as good? I don't think the backups weren't the problem. I think that the inexperience was the problem. Because these guys got it. They just need experience. And I've said it before when it comes to Ohio State. I get when you redshirt these guys, you don't want them to play. That's fine. You only let them play at least the 4 game rule. That's it. And you let them play in the playoffs because guess what? The postseason, there is no freaking, it doesn't count against the redshirt. So you should be letting them play at least in the first set of rounds. But when you get past their redshirt season, when you get past that and you're in their redshirt freshman season, they should be playing. There's no excuse. They got 4 more years now. They got and with the experience they get in the 4 games they played in the regular season and somewhat in the playoffs. I don't expect them to play a lot in the playoffs, but no, they weren't pancakes, coconut. But if we just rotate these guys, like we had the season to rotate these guys and get our team to be better. Like we have the depth. Like I said, we rotated at linebacker. We rotated at D-line. We rotated at freaking running back. We rotated at deep at safety. We rotated at tight end. We did not rotate at. We even rotated on offensive line, for God's sakes. We did not rotate at receiver or corner. That's where the problem is.
I do think that if we had rotated more, we could have kept some of these guys from.
That's the problem. Like we've been telling Ryan Day this from the beginning, and Ohio State. You better rotate these guys more. That's like the freaking old era where these guys can just sit here and there are no consequences for them leaving. No, you better rotate these guys.
You can't bring in high level talent like this and expect them to sit on the bench. Now I get that Porter was injured and stuff and everything, but that's not what I'm saying. We could have kept Rodgers here if we'd utilized him more, I think. We could have.
Yeah. Honestly, there's no excuse for Rodgers. I don't know what. And he was him and Brandon Inniss were called the 2 best route runners on the team. So, like, why was Bryson not getting more playing time? That is a question.
I think a lot of it had to do with the rule change and the speed of the game changing. Because remember, the clocks don't stop after first downs anymore. So, like,
but that doesn't mean you don't have to. Like Ryan Day, you've been in the NFL. You've seen this happen in the NFL. They don't stop and they still rotate.
I know, but you know that Ryan Day gets brain lock when it comes to certain things. I think he just
that's the
it's paralysis by analysis. He gets caught up on who's out there on the field and managing that, and doesn't think about, okay, maybe these guys need some rest. Maybe I need to get these young guys in the flow of the game a little bit more.
That's what he needs to do. That's what we thought he was going to do this year. And then it's like, like I said, we've seen it with some of with the other positions. The 2 particular positions we didn't see it with was corner and receiver. Those are the main 2 we did not see it with. Like, we've seen it with offensive line. Now, some of these guys probably weren't going to, like, get on the field immediately, but, it was bound. But we haven't seen it with the other 2 positions. And honestly, I think, like, as both Christopher Soares and Tyler put it, Ryan Day has tunnel vision. Like he tends to like just get stuck in the moment. And you know what's funny is I think that's been a problem of his for the longest time. And it's gonna take him a while to get out of that. It's like this is kind of why I said when it comes to the whole quality control coach thing, like when I brought up with the coaching thing, this is kind of why I'm like, you need to bring in some secondary coaching staff. And here's the funny thing. I think we already have that. It's just that we have guys in different positions. We have guys who don't know what it's like to be in those positions. Like when I was talking about doing the head, he can't get out of his own way. Like we've seen it in the playoffs last year. Like we've seen times he's gotten out of his own way. It's just that he tends to get stuck back in his ways at times. Like he just can't, he tends to get back in that at times. And that happens to a lot of people. Like when you get stuck, when you've been doing something for so long, it's like it's hard for you to get out of that a lot. So it's
Ryan Day is at his best when he has nothing to lose and doesn't overthink
everything. That's when he's at his best. And you know what's funny? And again, when we talked about doing the coaching thing, and you and I had brought it up on the Buckeye Ladies, and we talked about how great of an idea it would be to have what we did, and even talked about the coaches we wanted in those positions, regarding the booth up in the booth, and as assistant coaches as well. Remember that?
Yeah, but to be honest, right now
like right now, I know we're in a financial fund, and this is kind of funny about Ohio State is it's because of where we are with the with the sports that don't generate money at all. It's like I'm not saying like listen, if you don't want to get rid of them, turn them into club sports. You ain't got to spend money on them anymore. Ole Miss just scored a touchdown. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And they don't even got but wow, dude.
Can you imagine what's gonna happen if Ole Miss ends up taking this thing the whole way?
Bro, if they go all the way and it's them versus Oregon or Indiana, one of them two schools is finna win their first national title. Indiana or Oregon. Imagine us saying that. And we all been making fun of Oregon for the longest regarding not winning an Natty. So like, bro, ugh.
Wow, this is the changes. The changes are real, man. Like this has just been a wild season.
Oh yeah, that's why I think a lot of people. Because look, I love the parody, but I also want to see our team be able to adapt. And like I said, when we brought this up, it's like the funny thing is, I looked up on our coaching roster. We do have these positions that we have that are brought up. The thing is, we just don't have guys who are experienced enough to tell Ryan Day what to do.
The thing is, I think experienced coaches want more money, and right now we just can't.
No, it depends on what coaches. Because here's what I would say: if you were able to get like an older coach who don't want to be a head coach, who's good but would be willing to coach just to be in this position, like you need someone like a Chip Kelly, who does not mind being a coach. He just wants to be a coach. He does not want to do recruiting. He just wants to coach. You able to get that kind of coach? I think you got something there.
Yeah, but like I said, right now we're just worried about maintaining our roster.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is if we could get our roster maintained, and this is what I would do if I'm Ohio State. Because I said with the Buckeye Sports Group, I would keep them around just for this one reason. To work with the foundation to conceive NIL deals. Like the foundation would be the main NIL resource. Let's just call it for what it is. But these Buckeye Sports Group could facilitate other NIL deals. Like use outside businesses to facilitate. Like we kind of seen this with who did Eric mention again? Because you and I talked about it before the show.
Texas Tech and other schools and SEC schools are using outside businesses to get around the in-house.
NIL. That's what I'm talking about. If Ohio State, and I know they're scared of breaking the rules because we're like, oh, as soon as we do it, maybe the NCAA might try to act. No, here's the funny thing. Who listens to these jackoffs? They're not doing nothing right now. You better take advantage of it while you can, Ohio State. Stop being scared little wussies. Stop. Just do it. If the rules change, well, then we can just go right back to what we were doing. It's not hard. Like, we can't get in trouble for something that's everybody's doing now. Everybody's doing it. So if I'm Ohio State, I'm finna do the same thing. Use the Buckeye Sports Group to facilitate NIL deals.
Yeah, but we had a similar situation go down with the tattoos. Like, as soon as we started doing it.
But can you really say anything, though? Because the difference is, everybody else is doing it, and like I said, if I'm Ohio State, I can sue the NCAA and say, "Hey, wait a minute, you can't say nothing because you got all these other schools doing it. You can't say nothing about us."
Yeah,
because we can point out there is evidence out there showing this because everybody's been out there. Like even there are SEC podcasters that are mentioning the same thing. Like no, these rules, like they can get around the NIL rules using outside businesses, and guess what? These outside businesses facilitate NIL deals as actually part of that little decree. So there are loopholes in the NIL that Ohio State as well as other teams can exploit. So as long as there are loopholes, you're not saying like you're breaking the rules. We are actually we're taking advantage of the loopholes. Everybody is. And like I said, in Columbus, how many businesses do we have here?
And here's the thing, like there's a way that if the NCAA would crack down on this, I think it would end the SEC. And the whole reason the SEC is pushing this is that they're desperate. They're seeing other conferences dominating them now, and they hate it.
They absolutely 100% hate it.
Absolutely.
Because the NIL has exposed them. It's like, wait a minute. Y'all been paying players for years under the table. Now that it's legal and everybody can do it, we starting to see the SEC for what it really is when it's an even playing field. You ain't itch. You ain't nothing. When it's an even playing field, we see you for what you are. You need advantages in order for you to be good. All these other conferences don't need that.
And That's the thing. They absolutely hate it, and they're losing their minds over it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're Ohio State, yeah, no doubt. Like Lisa, stop being wussies. There's no doubt. Like just quit being afraid. Just take advantage of the rules when they're out there. Take advantage of it. You got the opportunity. Like, look, as long as the rules are where they are, you're gonna be able to fully take advantage of it until they change. So don't wait till the last minute. Like, do it now. And guess what? Build up your NIL money. You got a bunch of businesses in Columbus and a bunch of businesses in the state of Ohio that will be willing to pay these players if it means that the school get kept good. If it means the program is good, if it means the football team good, they're going to spend their money on this team. I promise you, you got every business in Ohio that would be willing to spend money on these players. They will still do it within like a certain amount, obviously, because we already know. Like, there's still a certain amount that these businesses have to pay these players.
And I know people want to bring up Wexner or whatever. Like, yeah, but he's busy donating to like the medical centers and stuff and things. So I don't see that being there. But we still have like high level businesses and stuff in Columbus that we need to take more
Yeah.
advantage of.
Including some that are owned by our very own former Buckeyes.
Yeah, I
So
think
take advantage of that, you idiots.
I think not not working with the foundation more really hurt us. That was
That's what we like. There's no doubt. Like, I think if Ohio State works with the foundation, like fully go with it, like that's what worked for us last time. That's what
yeah
worked for us last time. Working with the foundation absolutely saved our butts. So guess what? Go back to working with them. Use the Buckeye Sports Group to facilitate NIL deals outside of the foundation, and just have the foundation be like the main source of a lot of stuff. Like, there's no if, ands, buts about it. Like, and think about it too for the SEC. Like, if like it would be such a thankful gift if Ole Miss were to go to the freaking national title game. But you know what's super funny is the Big Ten. If they beat you in the national, if Indiana or freaking Oregon beat you in the national title game, I don't want to hear y'all say nothing.
yep. It's
Like, that would be the ultimate cream de la cream crew of the crew, because that would be just sad.
and let's face it, like Indiana has Indiana has shown how
Indiana has weaknesses that you can exploit, but they've shown you how you should be able to win games.
yeah, they've shown how the new college football system is supposed to work. We're going to have to hit the transfer portal harder, and I think we are going to, from now on, have to supplement more players from the transfer portal for guys to leave and dedicate more NIL to proven commodities from the portal.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I think if you're Ohio State, you need to start because here's the funny thing. I was figuring that with Ross Bjork, we would like kind of prioritize football a lot more above all these other sports. We still kind of got this Gene Smith where we're like, we're not really prioritizing football as much as we should. So I would tell you this: majority of your NIL should be going to to only four, what, like I would say 3 or 4 like profitable sports. Football number 1, basketball number 2. These should be the ones, obviously.
Yep.
Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now, what other sports generate money?
Maybe soccer and hockey,
Baseball.
maybe? And
Here
baseball?
would be my thing. It would be it would be football, basketball, obviously both the men's and women's basketball, the soccer, baseball, hockey, and whatever else you can make money off of. Now, I'm not saying we should only have like this many
Yep.
sports groups. Like, you have team, like the SEC has like what? Like, each team has like what, 16 sports?
Yep. That's what I just said. I think it would be football, basketball, hockey, soccer, basically, are your 4 big ones. And then,
Yes. Baseball, as Tyler said, yeah, we mentioned that. So it's like, yeah, no, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And like I said, for the other sports that we don't need, like, again, and Ohio State wrestling, I probably would keep them because they are really good. I'm not gonna lie, they're really good. So I would keep them as long as they're good. I'm keeping them.
yeah. Well, I forgot about wrestling. Wrestling is a major sport here at Ohio State. So,
Yeah, like I said, like they're gonna be one of the 16, I would say,
that
that
too.
you
But
keep.
if we, but do we really need like a rowing team, or just for an example, like
They
you
can still
know
be a club sport.
the miscellaneous sports that don't bring in
Here's the funny thing. I would say this
revenue.
for the sports that are going to be more so for the Olympics, because like sports that are for the Olympics, we all know what they are. I
Yep,
would make those club teams.
yep.
Those are the ones I want to make club teams. The ones that are going to be Olympic sports, telling them that look, we're not going to get rid of y'all. You're still going to be able to do the stuff you want to do, but we need to certify money for the other sports.
And
So,
guys, it could be worse. We could be dealing with a Washington quarterback situation. That's insane to
oh
me.
yeah, second again. Again, Jim, this would be one of the ones I'm talking about because this is an Olympic sport, and this is the one I would make a club sport. The Olympic sports make club sports. To me, that should be the thing. Is all for every school, the sports that are Olympic sports make those sports your club sports.
I didn't
Period.
even know we had a pistol. What
Oh
do
no, we've
you
been had a pistol team. That
mean?
team actually wins national titles. And you know what's funny? The synchronized swimming team has won more national titles than any team in Ohio State history.
Yo, man, I didn't even know we had a pistol team or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, no, they won like a lot of national titles. That pistol team has. They've been winning national titles.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But that's
That's
what they do. Like we have a lot of sports that we didn't even know about. But it's like it's been good. And I'm not gonna lie, I like fencing again. Fencing, rowing, pistol. We're talking about the first. Make those club sports. Club sports. They are Olympic sports. So make them club sports. Because guess what? With club sports, you ain't gonna spend no money on them.
Yep.
You don't. Like you can keep them around, but they ain't gotta. They don't. They don't have to get money spent on them. They really don't.
And the guy that I compare the new transfer portal wide receiver to that we just got, Devin McCune, I think he compares favorably to like a uh Xavier Johnson. That sort of skill
Mm-hmm.
set.
And you know what's funny is Xavier was actually kind of making a name for himself in the NFL. He almost made the Bills once, and he did make a couple other teams. He didn't do much but be a special teams guy. But
He
but the thing is with Xavier too is like if teams really wanted to, they could have used his ability to be both a running back and a wide receiver to their advantage, the way Ohio State did when he was first here. Because that was the one thing I did love about Xavier was his versatility. That man could play in the backfield and he could play as a wide receiver. I'm like, use that more, please.
and same with the walk on commit that we just got from Army. And I know I'm gonna butcher his last name because it's hyphenated and everything, but uh, Valero Hudson is his last name. I'm blanking on his first name right now, but he was a running back and athlete for Army that just decided to come home and play for Ohio State. I think he's promising. He gives us veteran leadership and character. He's formerly out of Dublin Kaufman. I like what he brings to table. I like bringing him into the running back room as a walk on. I think he's a good add. And anytime you can bring in someone from West Point or one of the military academies, you know you're getting a high character kid. So I just wanted to give him his flowers because I think he's going to add, if nothing else, leadership characteristics to a very young running back room.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, Eric, you said club sports have to raise their. Well, that's my point though. Is the club they're gonna have to raise their own money, whereas like Ohio State ain't gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State doesn't have to spend money on that no more. So it's like, and Tyler, did I really say Woods? I thought I said Johnson. My bad. Oh man, it's kind of it's
It
in you guys really.
it happens to the best of us. I blank on names all the time.
I accidentally said Woods when I meant to say Johnson. I did not know that. Sorry. But hey, and like Eric says, it is well the new day ain't a thing no more. Let's be honest, you're kind of dark now.
Yeah.
So
It's everything's changing, guys. Like
and like I said too, I think that like I said, I do think that like say this, say things don't work out with Bill Belichick at North Carolina. You think Ryan Day will want to hire him?
I don't know if I could handle Bill.
No, I'm talking about I said, don't you think Ryan Day will want to hire him?
I think he would, as long as the mistress doesn't come as a package deal.
Yeah, that's me. I think the mistress would. I don't
That
think the mistress would come as a package deal. I think Ryan Day would tell him, "Look, the things you and your mistress did, that
that
ain't
was
happening here."
that was
No offense. I think Ryan Day would kind of make that clear to him, like, please don't. You and your mistress don't start nothing. Like, you could bring her around, but don't let her talk
that
to the crews. Don't let her talk to the kids. Don't let her do nothing. Just don't do anything stupid.
that whole situation was a disaster.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Is I think Ryan Day would make that clear. Like I think you would want to hire him to be a part of like the analyst kind of staff up in the booth. But I don't think and I don't think Bill Belichick would give a damn about the money. The man makes enough as it is. But or he could now he's one. But I also do think Ryan Day would want to hire Paterno. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Paterno would be that other coach that I think Ryan Day would want to hire. Because to me that would be better if you hire Paterno.
Yeah, less drama with him.
And Paterno, like I said, he wouldn't be asking for money. He's a guy who would be like, "I come in, I don't care." Like he's good, but and you could just have him be. You could just have him be like I said, like I talked about with the hit quality control coach. The kind of money he'd be making, he wouldn't be making a lot, to be honest. I think he'd be making enough, but I don't think he would care. I think he would just love just coaching to be at least like an eyes in the sky for Ryan Day, because Paterno actually has a very successful head coaching record. Like people who don't know, that man is a very successful head coach.
How do you feel about Chip Kelly going to Northwestern?
I'm not surprised. I mean, he doesn't like recruiting, so it ain't shocking to me.
I think it's a really great move for them. I think that's gonna
Oh
help
yeah.
bring. I think that's gonna help bring in all kinds of different players to that program and revitalize that program with some much needed energy, which they did better last year
This
than I thought.
Yeah, they actually
Oh,
did better last year than people think, and this year they did better too. I mean, they actually won.
I mean,
This is their second time under David Braun going to a what do you call it, to a bowl game, and they won for the second straight time. So like with David Braun, they're 2-0 in freaking bowl games thus far.
yeah, they're really doing better than I thought they would. They're really equipping themselves well and developing the talent that they got on their roster.
Yeah,
And
Miami just scored.
to be fair, that's a hard place to win at
I mean, let's be
Northwestern.
realistic. We saw freaking Pat Fitzgerald do it. So
Yeah, but Pat was familiar with the
I mean, yeah,
program.
he's familiar with the program, but I'm talking about as a coach, he showed you how to
Yeah,
develop there. Watch out for Northwestern with Chip Kelly. Yeah, he is. And Lisa, thank you for the $5, or should I say the $4.99? But technically, I say $5. Compare the total number of sports sponsors by Ohio State versus other teams for X. For example, Ohio State supports 36, GA 21, Alabama 21. Wow.
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 That's interesting. I didn't know the deficit was that there was that big of a difference. That explains a lot. Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's that. I mean, I've always known that like the number of sports that we have, it's 36. Yeah, it ain't no doubt. Like at least have as many as Bama and Georgia. I wouldn't mind that. At least somewhere around them, because they only have 21. I don't mind having 21, and guess what? That don't really hurt their what you call it. Meaning, like the plan I've laid out, they can actually do that because it doesn't affect them from a salary standpoint.
And to be fair, guys, things could be much worse. We could be Bama right now. They're losing players too, and it looks like Kellen DeBoer may not be the answer for them. That fan base is rabid right now.
Oh man, I think he would come back to the Big Ten to
And the
coach for
way
like some low tier school.
and the way they got their butts beat by Indy, and I'm not surprised. Like, wow, that
By Indiana, you meant?
yeah, that's what I said.
I thought you said Miami. That's what it sounded like.
No,
Well, that's my hearing,
but
people.
that was a heck of a showing by Indiana. They they made those boys look like a bunch of junior varsity players, and they're hemorrhaging guys right now. Like I said, they got guys from their squad visiting us right now, and other teams across the country. Like, we're not the only program losing players. I just want to make that clear. This
Yeah, we're
is
not. It's so much worse because Ohio State's actually losing potential starters versus these teams who are probably losing like backups who weren't really worth much.
no. They're losing starters too. Georgia just lost their.
Oh no,
Uh,
Georgia, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Like Georgia, Bama, I expect these teams to lose starters. Indiana, I was like, I figured the guys they were losing were guys that weren't gonna play anyway. But
Georgia just lost their starting uh cornerback. I forget his name.
corner.
Yeah, if someone in the chat knows, help me.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just like I've been catching up with everybody else in transporter. I missed that one, so somebody's gonna have to like put it out there. Um, if it's true, Jennifer, like Saban spoiled. I mean, here's my thing with the Alabama fans. This is why I think you guys are really stupid. You guys have to understand, you're not in the Nick Saban era anymore. Nick Saban is the greatest coach you've ever had since Paul Bryant. And y'all have been in the ruck when Paul Bryant left. Like y'all were trash when he left. You became relevant when Saban was your coach.
Yep.
Like y'all tend to forget that. Like they were for years y'all were garbage. For
And
years, no one cared.
I can't imagine being the guy to follow up a guy like Saban. The amount of pressure that would.
But this is the thing though, like it's called like if you're a fan base that has realistic expectations, like you have to have realistic expectations for these coaches when they follow greats like a Saban or like when Earl Bruce followed Woody Hayes. Like you have to have realistic expectations because it's like you can't expect. Like here's what I would say: my expectation would be I expect you to keep the standard. I expect you to have us performing at a high level. I expect us to be in the playoffs every year. I'm not going to expect us to win a natty every year, even though that's the goal. The goal is going to be to win a natty. Like that's going to be the team goal regardless. Like I expect you to help us win a natty, but I'm not going to expect you to be at the level of this all-time great that won us like multiple natties. Like I don't expect any coach. I never expected any coach to, even though I was never born for that era. I know of the great Woody Hayes. I never expect a coach to be at the Woody Hayes level. I will never expect that. I was hoping that with Ryan Day, he's the closest we see that could come to that. But it's like I don't know if he will, but I'm really believing he can. But if I'm an Alabama fan, I'm never expecting anybody to be the next Nick Saban. Again, guys, you had Paul Bryant. You were trash when that guy left. You guys should already know from your experience with Paul Bryant, because there's a lot of you Bama fans that know of this guy. There's a lot of you who were around during that era after him, during and after he left. There's a lot of you who should already know to have the least set of expectations. When an all-time great coach leaves, you should have the least set of expectations.
You do realize fan is short for fanatic, right? It makes sense.
No, I know, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like fans can be fanatics. Like, yeah, you still want your team to be elite. Like, there ain't no excuse. Your standard is for your team to be elite. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But you shouldn't be expecting them to live up to the greatest coaches there have ever been. Like Hall of Fame level coaches, heck to the no. I would never expect that. I expect you to keep the standard as elite. Yeah, that's my expectation. Like when Ryan Day took over for Nick Saban for Urban Meyer, I did not expect him to be as great as Urban was. I expected him to at least keep the standard at an elite level. That's what my expectation was. And to win a national championship. And to beat Michigan. And when he wasn't beating Michigan, that's when we had the right. Because it's like, dude, you're not living up to the standard like we're expecting you to. Like, yeah, you're winning more games, but you're not living up to the standard that we've set. Like, you're not living up to that standard yet. Because you've yet to win a natty, and now you've been, even though, again, we all know there's an asterisk for 3 of these games that we lost to Michigan. But you now lost to Michigan again. So it's like, you need to do something. And you know what's funny is I saw a tweet from somebody who said, you know what's funny? We talked about, like, what would you rather do? Beat Michigan and not win a playoff, or lose to Michigan and win a playoff game? What's super funny is a lot of people chose lose to Michigan but win a natty.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, because you know how many people have fought back against that whole. I'm talking about, like, there are more people than usual who voted for this instead of, like, now you still have some who kind of fight back and say I want to beat Michigan, but it's like it's not as many as there was before because they see how this season went. Like, we beat Michigan and then we lose in the freaking first game of the playoffs. And again, we actually hear it that they prepared for this, that they were ready for this, and that yet they still came back and sucked like no tomorrow. So I don't know what happened there. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. It's like it's one of those where it's like, oh, you got to probably pick one because you can't do both. Like we were able to do that in 2002, 2014. In this day and age, I think we were probably going to have to pick one. Either we're going to have to beat Michigan, win a natty, or beat Michigan but lose in the playoffs, or lose to Michigan and win a natty. Because I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, brother, I've said it before. I'd rather lose to Michigan and win a natty. Because at
and
least just think about it. When Ryan Day has nothing to lose, when it is it? When he's lost to Michigan, because it's at that point you got nothing to lose. Like you got to fight for your life. And I feel like, and look, should it take that for him to win a natty?
no, it shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. But I feel like it's the only way for him to get out of his own way a lot. For him
And
to really understand. Like, brother, if you keep like listen, I like the strategy of us playing it slow during the regular season. I like that strategy because it keeps our guys healthy, but also at the same time, rotate these guys and maybe they don't have to worry about them getting
yeah,
hurt.
it's hard to flip that switch if you're used to going slow. It's hard to without the veteran leadership. It's hard to find when to flip that switch when you need it, and I think that's one of the things that came back and bit us in the butt this year.
Actually, I think we still were capable because we did have some seniors, but it's
Yeah,
like, oh, Ole Miss just had a field goal. Okay, so it's tied. This is something. But but I think we still could have flipped that switch. I just think that I think we still had the mindset. I just think things went so wrong. Especially because of the Brian Hartline stuff. Like, I think that if the whole mess with Brian Hartline didn't happen, I don't think we have this problem. I
yeah,
think the distraction is the cause of all of this because I think we had enough veteran leadership where we could have flipped the switch and actually went and played fast. I think we could have absolutely done that. But
yeah.
what hurt this team was the nonsense with Brian Hartline, with the whole thing. Like now they got a bunch of like him taking the
And the fact,
USF offer, and then we have to go ahead and focus on trying to keep all the recruits and everybody here. And it's like, and then we go and play our worst game against Indiana and play our worst game against Miami, and it's like, brother, we have the leadership to flip the switch. We have some seniors like Caden Curry and them. I expect Caleb Downs to be a leader. He already is.
and
I
the
expect
fact,
these guys, David Imbenosin, Jermaine Matthews, you were here last year. Like, I expect you guys to step up as leaders. Lorenzo, Sonny, you were here. You were a leader on this team last year. So
Sonny was a leader this year.
he was a leader on this team last year for the linebacker room and as a member of that stepping up. And then
Yeah,
he's a leader this year. So like I expected him to be a leader. I expect the leadership. And look, I know on offense, like we have Will Kazmarek. I know we have him. We do have Carson Hinsman, who I expected to be the leader of this offensive line from the get-go. You're the center. You're the smart guy. You know how to read this defense and what they're supposed to do. I expect you to step up and be a leader because you've been here for a while. I expect that from you. I expect that from Carson. And I would say JJ is another one I expect too, and Carnell. And look, from what we've heard of Brandon Ennis, he kind of was like a Mecah, where he takes that leadership very seriously. And he's more of the vocal one. So I kind of expected the ones that we know of to be leaders to step up and help flip that switch.
to be fair, I think that giving up so much so early in that game hurt us, and getting staying sacked so early affected our mentality as a team because he was shook, and it was hard for him to get out of that. Him being so young, when
And
you,
whose fault was that though, too, though?
I know, but
I know, but that's my point though, is
that goes
and
back.
here's the funny thing. Because here's the thing that Julian's saying needs to understand. I think it's better for him to go through this now than just spend his life in the pocket thinking that he always gonna be safe. Because here's the reality. We need him to be able to run. Like he's had opportunities and he's had opportunities. I'm sorry. Like, no, there's no excuse, buddy. You had opportunities to run.
He's a football player. He knows he's not gonna be safe all the time. No,
But that's the problem though. Is like if you rattled at this point with getting sacked and everything, something wrong, buddy. Because here's the thing.
You're gonna get rattled. It's natural when you're getting hit like that on a constant basis. It's human
Yes,
nature.
unless you are. Because here's the funny thing. We've seen first-time starters, CJ, Justin, Dwayne. Those guys were first time starters. They never got
They were,
rattled.
they
Especially
were,
Justin. Like, this is what I miss about Justin Fields. He was never a starter. He never had the experience. He only came in during the end of games for the most part and just ran the ball. But when he became a starter, when he became a starter here at Ohio State and it was his first time, that dude just came in with a whole mentality of, brother, I don't give a damn. I'm finna go ahead and get it.
They were behind better, more experienced offensive lines, though, too.
Were they? Because I'm not gonna lie, there were times that Justin was getting chased at times. I'm not gonna lie, because teams kind of knew better.
I know that, but
I mean, I can say this, like, yeah, the offensive lines that they had were better, but it's not like as if they were getting protected like 24/7. Like, let's not play that.
But come on, you can't tell me that Sane expects to be safe the entire time.
And neither did they. Let's be realistic, especially if you're going up against elite talent all the time. You're going up against elite defensive line.
You cannot tell me he expected to be safe.
No, but that's my point, though. It's like, did you expect CJ, Justin, and Dwayne and them to expect to be safe all the time? No.
That's not what I said.
Did you? No, but I'm telling you're telling me, like, did Sane expect it to be protected all the time? I ain't saying that he expects that, but I'm like, brother, if you expect not to not have that, you need to know when to move your feet. You need to have the ability to run because you're so scared to run. And that's why I'm saying, like, are you afraid to get hit? Because, and this is where I blame Ryan Day as well, because I'm like, brother, you instilling this is saying as to why he gets rattled. Because I think one of the biggest reasons he gets rattled is because he's afraid to get hit. It's because how much Ryan Day's not letting him run. It's like, brother, the quarterback run is what helped us win the Natty last year. The quarterback run is what makes our offense so unstoppable. It's what worked with Fields. It's what worked with freaking CJ at the Georgia game and the Northwestern game. It's what worked with the way Haskins was here with you as the offensive coordinator. Like, why are you so afraid to let these quarterbacks run, dude? It's not the end of the world. I get it. You don't want them to get hurt. Well, teach them to go out of balance or teach them to slide.
That was my point. Like, yes, we need that element to our game. That's what makes this click.
That's one of the biggest reasons why I'm like, listen, you can keep, and this is what I said too, if we, like with Billy Fessler, like, here's what I would say, because you can keep the quarterback, like, keep Ryan Day's philosophy of a pocket passing quarterback. I have no problem with that. I want a pocket passing quarterback. Like, you cannot win in the game without being able to pass in the pocket. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. But you also can't win if your quarterback is just sitting in the pocket. Like, you're in a day and age where your quarterback needs to be mobile.
Yep, and
that's the day and age you're in right now. Your quarterback needs to be able to do both. He needs to be able to pass and run. He needs to be able to sit in the pocket, dissect the defense, but he needs to be able to run the ball as well to give this defense a lot to think about.
And I do think we need to do a better job if we're going to recruit guys like Jelani and players like that. I get that they're not the best blockers, but if you're going to recruit them and you fall in love with their skill set and their pass catching ability is why you recruited them, allow them to use that.
Yes, please allow them to use that. And Miami had scored, so it was like 17-10. Of course. To win a national championship, you better have a mobile quarterback. Oh no, you need to have that's what it takes to win championships. I think in today's era in general in football, you need to have either a mobile quarterback or a true dual threat, someone who can really hurt you with both.
And that's what I'm saying. We're not asking him to be Olympic level like athlete here. I just need him to take what the defense gives you.
And you know what's funny? He did that against Penn State.
Yes.
We're like, where was this? Why are you not doing it more?
He's capable of doing it. So I think that's going to come with age and come with experience. And hopefully Ryan Day sees it and says, okay.
I hope Tavian St. Clair actually kind of says to Ryan Day, listen, I want to be able to be a great pocket passing quarterback, but if I see the opportunity to run, I'm taking it. I don't care what you say about that because that's what this team needs.
I don't think you can take that away from Tavian.
Oh no! I'm talking about because Ryan Day's not gonna want him to run, and Ryan Day didn't want that for Justin, but Justin told Ryan Day, dude, I don't care if I see the opportunity to run, I'm finna take it.
But
I hope that's Tavia St. Clair's mentality. Like, look, if I see the opportunity to run, I'm taking it. I don't care how
I
you
think
score.
I think one of the big issues with Sane is people see his size
Size.
and they think, oh, if he runs, he's gonna get hurt. Well, there's you can run, but run smart. Get out of
That's the
bounds.
point. Run smart.
Yes, and Tavian is built different. He's huge. He's big, lower body kid. He can take hits and stuff. That's a different style of player and stuff. He's more like a Justin Fields than he is like a Sand.
You know what's funny too though is like his passing ability is so much compared to CJ as well though, Tavian's. And
Yeah.
it's like I'm like, and again, I'm not trying to hype this kid up because I don't know if he's that, but I'm like, if you give me a quarterback who has the Justin Fields athletic ability with the CJ Stroud passing ability, you just gave me the dream quarterback of the century.
Yep. And
Like tell me who wouldn't want that? That is the perfect quarterback right there.
every school in the country would give their right and left arms to have that combination of quarterbacks. And I think Tavian's going to be a special player. Not taking anything away from Julian. I think Julian's going to be great next year, and he's clearly going to be like the starter and stuff. But I do hope that we get Tavian some snaps and start getting him ready because
Mm-hmm.
it's we said it with Lincoln this year. Lincoln should have gotten more snaps and stuff, even if it's just like
But this
package.
is also why I'm saying you need like a legitimate offensive coordinator. Like I don't care if it's Brian Dable, even though I would rather have anybody else but Dable, even though he was successful at Bama. I would rather have Mike McDaniel. Give me somebody who has NFL experience that Ryan Day. Because here's the funny thing. This is kind of why with the Brian Hartline thing, I'm like, as he got better as an offensive coordinator, I was willing to give him the time. But it's like, give me an offensive coordinator that's going to go back and forth with Ryan Day and does not give a damn about how things go. Because it's like, this is a guy that Ryan Day cannot just tell anything to. Like, this is a guy who knows his stuff. Like, for instance, one of the things I like about Mike McDaniels is he comes from the Kyle Shanahan tree. And like Kyle Shanahan is a really good coach. I don't care what anybody says. That guy's he's a smart offensive mind. His ability to adapt an offense is super good.
And creativity too.
Which is what we need.
Yes, we need creativity and the ability to utilize all these different weapons that we're recruiting on offense and stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, give me an offensive coordinator with, and think about it too. Like for Kyle Shanahan and all these other coaches, like, where do you think they got it from? They got it from Chip Kelly. Like when you kind of look at today's NFL's like offensive coordinators, a lot of it is like the advanced stuff of what Chip Kelly did. That's like Chip Kelly's offense works. And like, look, I tell you this, we talked about it last year. Ryan Day's passing game offense combined with Chip Kelly's run game offense, like you combine their playbooks, it's like, no, that was a magic playbook right there. Like and think about it too, like Chip Kelly absolutely could have used that playbook if he had the talent at receiver, the talent at quarterback, the way because he's always had talented running backs and tight ends, but he's never had the receivers. And when you looked at this Ohio State team, what did he say? This is the most talented team I've ever had.
And definitely, like, we need to work in tempo. Tempo needs to become back into the system. We got away from that a little bit. And when we use it in a timely fashion, I'm not saying use it all the time, but break it out in a timely fashion. We saw against Miami that it is effective and it helps.
Yeah. And you want to know something funny? Because I talked about it. I had talked with Buckeye Bill. Shout out to Buckeye Bill on the About That Business podcast. You guys go subscribe to his channel and help him and Ladybug grow. They are awesome. Great friends with myself and Sean and the OHL podcast. They are awesome people.
Yeah, they're excellent. I love those guys.
They are excellent. You guys are going to love them. So shout them out. But myself and Buckeye Bill had talked about it with the offense. And, I had talked about it when we were talking about, like, bringing in guys who can – when I was talking about the whole coaching thing, and I said Shane Waldron was one I had brought up. Now for those who are Seahawks and Bears fans, y'all probably would have hated that because, and I know they would because of how he used J. Smith and Jimba, even though I talked about it before. And with his time with the Bears, even though that was mostly Caleb, because it's like any experienced quarterback would get that ball out of their hands a lot faster. Justin Fields could run that offense better than most people believe, because it's all about timing, rhythm, and how you throw. But with Jason Smith-Njigba's first year, Shane Waldron, the reason he didn't use him as much is because that Seahawks offensive line was dog crap. They were one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. They were trash, dude. They couldn't block for nothing.
Yep.
They were garbage. So he had to confine that offense around him. Now, it's not like he never used Jason. Like, he used Jason in situations when he could. So that way, and I loved his offense. As a matter of fact, I said it. If I ever get the opportunity, I want to showcase. Now, I can't do it on YouTube because otherwise we get copyright strike, and I ain't trying to go with that. But I might try to showcase the offense that he used, because you know how we love to use the tight ends?
Yep.
That's what his offense actually can do. It's actually really creative with the tight ends.
And the thing is, when you go tempo, it helps cover up some of the issues with like the offensive lines and stuff too. So
yeah, so my thing is too, that's why I talked about it, because his Shane Waldron's actually was able to use the tight ends in a way that got them open a lot.
that's
Like,
why
and even with the receiver too, like you would have one receiver out. Now at the time it was DK Metcalf because he was the best receiver at the time. Made sense. But the way he would have it is his formation. Let me tell you what his formation was with these tight ends. He has one receiver on the out, one tight end lined up in the usual tight end spot. But he has two lined up in the backfield, looking like it was going to be a run play.
Yep.
And it was really creative. And you had a running back there as well, of course. Like, that was a very creative set that he used with the tight ends.
That's what I'm saying. I think the biggest reason that Tegra got exposed this year is we didn't do as much tempo, so he had to hold things a lot longer and stuff, and that led to him getting exposed. I think if we had kept more of a Chip Kelly like system, he would have flourished a little bit more.
Oh yeah, he would have, and that's why I think if he went to the NFL and he finds himself like say with Kyle Shanahan, I think he'd flourish in that system. Kyle Shanahan he knows how to cover up issues. The Y position you're referring to, TG. Yeah, I figured. I mean, Y or Z don't really matter to me because they're both outside. Not the Y, actually, no. Yeah, no, the Y is what I'm referring to as far as the slot. Do we use the tight ends enough? I think we use the tight ends more than we usually do, but we didn't use them correctly enough. Like, we had moments where we should have, like, they didn't use them correctly at times. Now, Mecah asked this: if we lose Bo Jackson, who will be the starting running back next year? Do you think it'd be Isaiah West?
Yep, most likely.
I figured.
Really think we need to do whatever we can not to
keep Bo Jackson here, because I'm not trying to lose this kid. This kid's too good. I'm sorry.
Because we already lost Maxwell
James
Roy,
Peoples.
Maxwell Roy and Isaiah West were like best friends. So
yeah, I don't know why Maxwell Roy transferred. What position does he play?
Maxwell Roy was a DT.
Why did you transfer? I think you would have got playing time, actually.
That's the question to all these guys.
That's the thing with Max Roy. Is like, why would you leave when, like, because the thing is, I see what you're talking about, Tyler. I know. That's why I see at the Y position. That's why I know what you mean. Because here's the funny thing. Like, Larry Johnson rotated his D line this year. Like, dude, you're young.
He was injured all year and didn't get a play, but like.
But you would have got a chance this. You would have got a chance this pretty much this upcoming year. You would have got a chance to get on the field. So why would you transfer?
That's what's been frustrating about this whole thing. We've lost Javon McFadden. He was up for more playing time, and
I never understand some of these guys. It's like you would have been starters or gotten playing time, and you chose to transfer. Why? Like, stay. You get the opportunity to play. It's not like you're buried on the depth chart this time like others. You have an opportunity to get playing time. You're up for playing time this year. Why would you leave?
I understand, like, the guys that aren't guaranteed
playing time and all that. Like, I understand that.
But Javon McFadden was impressing in camp, and he was stonewalling guys like K-Mac and everything. The coaches were raving about this kid, and he was here for only a year, and now he's gone.
in the portal. Like, if I'm Ohio State, I'm telling this kid, what is you doing? Come back. You were finna get playing time this year. What are you doing?
That's
What are you
that's
doing?
that's exactly what I'm saying. These agents are getting in these kids' ears and
No, like
convincing.
if I'm Javon McFadden, I'm ignoring this guy. I'm like, wait a minute, brother. These guys wanted me to have playing time, and you're talking about I could go get money elsewhere. What? Why? Like, I could probably get paid good money if, as long as I continue to do well at Ohio State, because that's what it's all about. Your time at Ohio State and how you're playing on the football field. Now, again, I can understand if you weren't going to get any playing time. That's one thing. But for you, when the coaches are raving about you and they're giving you, and they're going to give you an opportunity to get some playing time, to be quite honest, I think he could have got playing time this year over even Gabe Van Sickle and those guys with how good he was. I mean, if he was that good, I'm like, this guy could have got some playing time this year at guard for how much he was stonewalling dudes. We need that. We need that nasty of an old lineman. I'm sorry, but if I'm Ohio State, I'm doing whatever it takes to keep this kid here. I don't care. Like, I need that. And more importantly, here's the other thing, too. There needs to be guardrails put in. This is what we talk about when we say there needs to be guardrails put in place for NIL. There needs to be guardrails for the transfer portal. There needs to be consequences. Look, I love the fact that these guys can get paid. I love the fact that these guys get something. Like, even all the ex-players that myself and Sean have interviewed have talked about it. They love the fact these players get paid. They want that for them. But they believe that these kids are now total wussies. And it's like, you're just moving and doing whatever. Y'all do not deserve to have this kind of freedom. Like, y'all need some kind of boundary set. Y'all need consequences. The former players believe this. They believe there needs to be consequences to keep this from happening repeatedly. And then, more importantly, it keeps these agents in check, because now you can't just say, well, you're worth more here, so you can go here. Like, no, there's got to be consequences for these kids.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. These agents are getting in these kids' ears and saying, Ohio State's offering you is too low. I can get you way more money somewhere else. You need
But
to go
I do think it does tell you how much these agents care about these kids' careers. Because if these agents were smart, and this is the truth, because this tells you about these agents, you would think that you would want them to stay at Ohio State because you can get more money off them in the NFL, you idiot. I mean, dude, look how many agents are getting money off us. See, I bet you CJ Stroud's agent is getting a lot of money off him in the NFL. Look at what he's in the playoffs for the third straight year in a row.
Yeah, but
And think about it, he just got there as a rookie. So for 3 straight years, from your rookie year to your sophomore year to now your junior year, you're now starting to be getting to that veteran territory. You are now at a point where CJ is putting Texans, and that guy, I would bet money that CJ gonna get paid like $50-some million as the Texans freaking franchise quarterback, because that's how good he is. He's that good. And I know the agent is glooming over that right now.
But here's the thing, TG. The college agents are able to take more of a cut from the college players.
That's another thing. I think that needs to be a rule. What's the rule for the NFL regarding the
the agency cut?
Yeah.
The portion of the salary they're allowed to take. I think isn't it like 3% or 30% or something like that?
Something like that.
Well, college.
You said what?
What?
No, I didn't. I heard you say something. I was breathing into the microphone, kind of reading something. My bad. But Ray Rocky Flores, he's a new listener. It looks like, and it sounds like just like. So I can see what you're talking about, because the Cowboys suck. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But
But
that's what I think needs to happen too, because I think that's the point that these kids don't realize. These agents are taking advantage of you now because they are able to take more of your cut. I think that what needs to happen is the college football needs to become more pro. You need to have the players organization like what the NFL has. You need to have a commissioner for college football. Like, the commissioner needs to be the one making all the decisions. I'm sorry. And you need to have a staff put in place for college football entirely, because that's what needs to happen. Like, the NCAA, if you want to stay involved in this, you need to have a commissioner and just have them set up the rules and everything. Have them set up an infractions committee of their own where they can determine how many the penalties and everything. Like, have that be settled now. And more importantly, this is what I was saying right now. Have a rule put in place have a threshold where these agents can only take either 10% or 20% of these kids' salary. But I would go with the 3 to 10%. I would say around there because I'm like, these kids are going to keep getting taken advantage of. Even though, do I think the NCAA really cares? No, because I think they want these kids to kind of get screwed over in every facet. But
And
that's what I would do if I'm anybody. Is I'm going to do that.
And that's the thing. Me and Eric covered it over on the latest episode of the Illuminati podcast. The thing that's gonna have to happen, I think, is these players are gonna have to unionize or something and get get things sorted out to where the agents have limits to the cuts they can take of the players' NIL and stuff because
Yeah,
that's that's what's happening. These agents are pushing these kids saying, "Oh, I can get you this money. I can get you this money," and they're gonna find out it's a lot of them. It ain't gonna happen like they say it's gonna happen. And
it really isn't. It's not. And again, these agents just want to take your money. So like, either you're going to be smart and and actually protect yourself and protect how much money you're making, or you're going to keep letting these people take advantage of you. But this is the thing though, these agents know that these college kids, they're freaking stupid, and so are their families for the most part, because it's like, you're going to be willing to take whatever the heck I'm telling you because you're not smart enough to realize I'm taking full advantage of how stupid your kid is.
and that and that's the sad part is they don't care. And these parents are a lot of these parents don't realize it either because they're just they're just seeing the dollar signs and then
But what happens if, and this is what I think it's going to take. It's going to take one of these agents really robbing these parents, because this is why I think they love it too, because they know the families of these very parents are completely stupid. They are stupid
I would
because
say
they're
I would
like, man, these parents don't care about their kids or their financial future. I can rob these people as much as I want, and they're not gonna say a dang thing.
I won't say that. I just think
No,
people
seriously, I would say that because if I was an agent, yeah, I'm taking full advantage of these kids. I'm taking full advantage of them and their family. Like, y'all stupid enough to believe me. All right, you gonna pay me this amount of money for how much I'm getting you, and we gonna do that from there. And guess
yeah,
what? You better be smart enough to. And this is what I would tell these kids: you better be smart enough to invest, because if you ain't investing, they're gonna really steal your money.
that's why I'm glad that Ohio State continues like the real life Wednesdays and things like that and things that help educate these kids about matters like this because it's gonna get more and more important that these kids need to learn how to handle these things a lot more and these families need to learn how to handle these things a lot more because if not it's just gonna keep getting more and more ridiculous.
Yep, and more importantly, you're gonna get robbed blind by these agents if you don't start wising up and realizing that they taking advantage of your desperateness. Now, I can understand that for some of these, and here's the other thing with these kids: like, you want to get your, so because for the kids who like for instance, we talk about some of the kids that we've missed on that have families that are stuck in like financial deficits right now, and they
Yeah,
go to these schools like an Oregon in them to pay for to help get them coming out of the poverty background. But here's my question: are you really getting them out of poverty when these agents could take majority of your money?
that's a good point.
Are you really getting them? Are you really getting your folks out of poverty? That is my question to you. That would be my question to you.
There's a threshold for these things and things are gonna come to a head sooner rather than later, I think, because one of these agents is gonna get caught screwing one of these kids over, and that's what's gonna
That's
make
what it's gonna take, I think, for these
that's
parents to
what's
realize
gonna
that you're getting screwed over. Because it's like, no, dude, the money. Let me. Because again, you guys are gonna have to realize these agents are screwing you over because they know how stupid you are, and they know how desperate you are, and they know you're not smart. They know you're not smart enough to realize that your kid is getting taken full advantage of, and that's what. And not only that, but you also become a taxpayer, as Jennifer pointed out. Like, you're a taxpayer now. Like, you gotta pay
Yep.
taxes. So like, that's even worse. And if you're in a state like California, oh, it's gonna be hard for you. California taxes are high, baby. At other places in the nation, in this country, there are states with pretty high taxes. So if you don't, and I mean this when I say this, if you are in a pretty high state, your kid is not going to get you out of poverty at all, because they got to pay taxes too.
Yep, and that's what I think a lot of these parents and these plastics don't understand. They see the zeros and that's all they see. and they don't understand what all goes into it, and that's what's the sad part. Agents are taking advantage of it.
That's the worst part, actually. Um,
Yeah, but
and, and again, that's why I feel bad for these kids, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I feel bad for these kids and their families, but I'm like, it's gonna take y'all getting screwed over for y'all to realize that.
yep,
It just is. And I think there should be a financial structure. Again, I think there should be a salary cap for NIL. I think it would be the best way for these schools to save money. And I think it should go around for all sports. I think all sports should have an NIL. I think all of them should have a cap. I think that there should be a limit as to how much you can make, and I think there should be contracts signed
that's
because that's the only way I think you're going to get these kids to go through. And again, I think uh, I would say for these kids, again, you need to have a certain percentage that these agents can take. That's what this needs to be done to protect these kids, because someone's got to protect these kids, otherwise they're going to keep getting taken advantage of.
and there has to be resources dedicated for every college program to educate these kids and their families on how to handle these situations too, because a lot of these kids come from backgrounds where they don't know how to handle money and stuff like this. And
And Ohio State does that for free.
Ohio State does a good job of doing this with the Real Life Wednesdays and internship programs and stuff like that, teaching these kids how this stuff works and managing money and marketing themselves, but not getting taken advantage of and stuff. And more colleges need to do this, and the NCAA needs to come down on these agents and stuff, like we said.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, you would think they would, but like lawyers are sharks too. Like you see a lot of these lawyer firms have like high where you got to pay like high money for a lot of these lawyers. So it's like, so no, like lawyers, just like some of these agents, are sharks too. Not all of them, but most. And it's like that's going to always be a common problem, and that's why you have laws put in place regarding like lawyers to like try to help families that are like not in poverty, but are like can't really afford great lawyers, can't really afford much. So like they have laws put in place for that now, and it's like that's what I'm saying. Like for the NCAA or if for college football in general, you need to have rules and or put in place for these agents as to how much money they can take from these kids.
Yep.
Because it's like if they could, because again, if this continues, these kids gonna, like I said, I'm gonna tell these kids right now. I know a lot of them probably don't listen, but it's like y'all need to know you're getting robbed blind by your agents. They're robbing you right now because they know for a fact you're dumb, you're stupid, and you don't know what they're actually doing. They can take advantage of you and your family because they know your family ain't intelligent enough regarding money. They know they can rob you blind as to how much they can take from you because they know like there ain't no rules for that in college football. They can take as much money as they want from you if they want. They could take half your money if they wanted to. Let's be realistic about that one. That's what I'm saying for these kids, especially for the ones who talk about trying to get their parents out of poverty. You better learn how to protect your money.
Yep, and that's the sad part.
That's always gonna be the sad part. Mecah, you got any more that you want to talk about?
There's a rumor that Quincy Porter might transfer to the team up north.
Yeah, I saw that. It would make him enemy number one if he did that BS. So, like, brother, you really transferred from this program after we just beat them to the team up north. Like, brother, you're the number one at that point.
Yep. You just put a. You just ruin any credibility you have in Columbus if you go there.
Yeah, like you ruined a lot of your credibility. But then here's the thing: is it his agent pushing him to go sign there?
And that's the thing as well. You never know. Like that's what I'm.
Because that could be the thing. It's like, but here's the thing though: is like if you're that agent, you would realize that we talked about it. Their billionaire sugar daddy might not be there to help give them money anymore because of everything going on with Warner Bros. So.
And not to mention, like, there could be punishments coming for them in the future. So think about where you're going before you go
Decide
there.
to go somewhere stupid. Like, yeah, I love Kyle Whittingham. He's really just a PR move, if we're being honest. But it's like, nah, dog. I'm sorry. Like, you should already know. Like, you're not gonna get no money there. I'm sorry. Like, if your agent really see, this would be the thing. If I was you and I see my agent trying to steer me towards a team up there where their sugar daddy might not be able to pay any more money, they're gonna be facing some consequences themselves. Like, brother, you be making all kinds of stupid mistakes right now. And it's like, and this is kind of why this is kind of why I feel bad for these kids. Is like, you're making stupid choices because you got these sharks in your ear. Like, you need to be smart and try to think for yourself.
Yeah, but to be honest, at 19, 20 years old, I probably would have been making these stupid decisions.
Oh no, a lot of us would have because it's like it's a lot of money, right? It's
Yep.
money. But it's like, but here's the funny thing though. I know I wouldn't because my grandmother, and this is why I'm thanking God I came into a good family. My grandmother, my mother, and them will not allow me to get taken advantage of. Neither will my father, neither will my cousin, neither will my auntie, none of them will.
Yep.
And guess what? A lot of them, and my grandma, even though she doesn't have a degree in law, she knows a lot about law. She knows law. She actually had been a lawyer for a little bit at the job she was working at. And she didn't even have a law degree. She could have went at. They would have. And it was funny is her job was willing to have her pay for her to be a lawyer because she was so good at it. And it's like she was like, no, I ain't going back to school. No, because and the reason why is because something had happened to her when she was young. So she was like, so school started kind of wearing her out because of some stuff that had happened.
That's cool. Way to go, Grandma.
Yeah, no, but that's the point though. Like, she's so familiar with this kind of stuff. She ain't gonna allow nobody to take advantage of me. She'll be the first person I got to like, hey, grandma, what am I gonna do here?
That's the thing. A lot of these kids don't have the.
But that's the point though. They don't have what I have. Like, I got me a great family and one that will never allow me to get taken advantage of. These kids ain't got that kind of family. These kids got families that will be willing to take money from them. But here's the problem though, you family mofos. How you gonna do that when an agent taking majority of the money?
Yep.
So like you kind of blowing you kind of hurting yourself on that one. And like I said, yo kid might be going to a school where they're not going to get developed. So they might not even make it in the pros. So what happens when they don't? What money is going to be made at that point? Like, you better know how to invest, because if you don't, you can go broke real quick. Because trust me, money ain't everything. Money is not, like, brother, you could be like, money is to help you survive and to like pay bills, pay for food and all that. But if you're not smart with your money and you're not making smart investments and you're not doing the smart,
it goes like really fast.
Real quick, because money is not forever. It is not. We are in a company where the capitalism and prices are going up, baby. Like, people finna be spending money. So like, if you really think that you finna be keeping money, you got another thing coming.
Yep. And on that note, I think that's about it for tonight, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on for 1:30 already.
Yep.
Yeah, I would tell you guys this. I did do some more research on the coaching stuff to try to see how we can make that work. And what type of choices we should be able to make, as well as how much money the coaches made as far as salaries, as far as like quality control coach, assistant, analyst, all that. And how you would be able to, even with Ohio State's kind of situation, how we might be able to get away with that. But the type of people we would need in that position, I found out how we could do that. I'm going to do that next show. Okay. To tell you guys the full on thing, I'm going to do it next show here on the Buckeye Ladies. I'll tell you guys the full thing next week's show. So until next week, myself and Sean, I think we will have a special guest. Now, I will try to reach out to the previous special guests that I told Eric about. Like, if you watch the Buckeye Lounge, I told you guys that there is a young up-and-comer who's very interested in trying to become a podcaster. And Eric, I'm going to ask you a question, because before you get off, buddy, when are you finna update the videos on Twitch, here on YouTube to Twitch? When you finna do that? I wonder when you're going to do that, because in order for a Twitch trainer to grow, you got to do that. Am I wrong, Mecah?
No, you're not wrong, but
because I'm just asking him, like,
our audience would increase if we did that.
It really would, because like I said, there's a lot of people who watch Twitch. My cousin and everybody. Like, I know people who watch Twitch. So it's like, and I told them that we're on Twitch, but they're like, hey, what's up with the videos? And I'm like, he hasn't uploaded them yet. He's like, bro, you better tell him to upload that if you want more people to watch. So it's like I said, Eric, do that at some point. So night, buddy. But you're gonna have to upload videos on Twitch. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to. And I want to say thank you to everybody. Night. I'm grateful you all came onto the show tonight.
Yeah,
And
thanks for tuning in, everyone.
yeah, and make sure you guys go to the our merch store if you guys want to support us financially, especially. Help us by buying our merches on the OHIO merch store. The link
Yeah,
is in the description.
you don't have to worry about our agents. We get the profits from our stuff. So please check out our merch store and help us out and like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think. Leave your opinions. We always appreciate the feedback. Go join us over on Patreon. Check out our shows over there. We work really, really hard on those, and along with the recruiting database that me, Eric, and Vader have been putting together. Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. I've dedicated a lot of hours to it, and I know Vader has too. And we would appreciate any of you guys' feedback and any of you guys' support. Thank you for joining us, and as always, have a good night.
And not
OH.
only that, Mika, before you finish,
Okay.
don't forget to check out the Wild Man's What Makes Me Wild show, Eric's podcast as well, the Illuminati, Vader's blogs, as well as my NFL Rundown podcast show. I know I haven't done a podcast episode lately, but that's because I'm waiting for the playoffs to start, and it doesn't start till like January 10th. So, and I will be doing reactions really for that as well. I'll be doing my reaction videos for that and breaking down the game and breaking down pretty much all the teams that are in there. I will be watching the not Houston Rockets, the Houston Texans game. Obviously, CJ and them, because he's making it to the second round like every year. I want to see this guy at least get to if he can. How amazing would it be if him and Cade Stover, as well as like two other Buckeyes who were on that team, made it to the AFC like divisional title game round?
Oh, absolutely, that would be awesome.
That would be the best thing in the world. So, I promise you guys that we will see you guys next week. And tune in to our next show on the Buckeye Lounge. Put a comment in the comment section. Let us know so that way you guys can help our channel grow and continue to help us to our goal of 10K subscribers. Right now we're on pace to get 7K. Keep it up. Keep us going. Like, share, and subscribe. And you guys already know what to do. Mika, you said it. Do it again.
OH.
I-O. Go Bucks.
And scum still sucks.
Scum still sucks. Not everybody.
Night.
Let me take this off here.